Anybody paying attention can see this. She's seen it. So it ain't no coincidence that she come to me asking me to marry her. Yeah. Now here it is. I'm in my early 20s. You know, I know I'm on my way to prison any day now. So I ain't thinking about getting married. But she coming at me with this. So I kind of, ducked the question. But over time, she kept coming, and now she coming at me, and the way she's bringing it is, look, you said you might be going to prison, and you gonna need somebody to be there for you while you're in prison, and I'm gonna be there for you. So I done fell for the okie doke. Yeah, I agreed to it. She started planning this wedding. And here we are at the altar. Family that came from Detroit, all her family there, friends. It's a nice sized little wedding. So we at the altar. Got the preacher man here. I'm here. She's standing there, and everybody, all the guests is sitting out here. He say, do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? I pause. I pause so long, he looking at me. Like, did you hear the question? I paused so long that everybody in the audience, you can hear them whispering, moving around, waiting on me to respond. But I was staring straight ahead. I'm looking at the exit door the whole time. And I'm thinking in my mind, something is telling me, don't you walk. You better run your behind through that door and don't look back. And I didn't listen to that voice in my head. And I went and made the worst decision in my life. I said I do. And when I said I do, everybody was letting out sighs, like they've been holding their breath the whole time. Preacher man even made a comment about it took me so long. But now we married, and just like I thought, I end up getting indicted, going to prison. I go to prison, we communicating with each other. She sending letters, talking on the phone. And she's sending money every now and then when she can. Now, off the rip, one of the things that she was always saying is that she's struggling. She's not making enough money at her job to cover all the bills and living expenses. So she's going through a rough time. So me, I was always the kind of guy who, I didn't care about getting visits in prison. I used to tell that to everybody, they ain't got to worry about coming to see me. I'm not tripping about them sending money. If you could send something or want to send something, that's fine, but it ain't no big issue. All I really focused on was letters. So this is what I'm telling her. Now, as time went on, she finally ended up getting a better paying job. She got a job working for the state. She ended up getting a job at a prison hospital, okay? So it was a decent paying job. But the problem is, even after getting this job, she would still be telling me from time to time how she going through a rough time. Now again, I'm not understanding why you still going through a rough time and you got this job now working for the state. So I get off the phone with her and I write her a letter. And I called her a few days later. When I called her, she answered the phone. She all hyped up, excited. Like, hey, I got your letter and I got the money order you sent me. She said, man, this came in handy because I didn't know how I was going to make it the rest of the week. She said, I ain't even had gas to get to work. Man. And then she stopped. She was like, wait a minute. How did you send me some money and you in jail? I ain't never heard of nobody sending somebody money from jail. And I just paused. And she said, how you do that? Because you told me the jobs that you had was only paying you 12, 13 cents an hour. So where you getting money from? I say, listen, it's always a way to make it. You know, it's all kind of hustles in prison. Many people doing all kinds of hustles, you name it. You know, but what I started doing was selling pies. I make pies and sell them. I said, look, the way it even started out, I was just messing around making pies for myself, you know, taking apples and cutting them up, cooking them, the sugar and cinnamon, and, you know, came up with a way to make the pie shell. And I started giving some away, letting people I know try. And next thing I know, I had people lined up at my unit talking about where the pie's at. They want to buy some. So from that day forward, I started taking orders, making pies all different sizes. I had 3 different sizes. And I had numerous different types of pies. So things that took off so good that I would have my whole unit smelling like a bakery. And people would walk by my cell and I would have pies stacked up everywhere. I would leave out the unit with bags filled with pies, dropping them off all over the compound. And that's how I've been making money. She was like, man, I ain't never heard of nobody doing that. Now, I get out of prison November 12th, 2002. I'm released to the halfway house. Now, she picks me up from the prison. When I got in that car with her and we driving down the highway, I felt this overwhelming negative vibe that I couldn't understand. I couldn't shake it. It was so bad that it was messing with my spirit. Now, I get to the halfway house. And, you know, they taking you through all these steps and orientation and all the things that you got to do being in the halfway house. One of the things was you got 2 weeks to find a job. And the way it is, they give you a pass to be out, give you a bus pass to get on the bus. And you got to go out every day, fill out 3 applications at least, and you got to have the people when you fill the application out sign your paper so the halfway house know you was there. Easy enough. So I'm going out every day, filling out applications, you know, and then I got her sometime coming on her days off, giving me rides. So when I get a ride, I'm able to even fill out 4, 5, 6 applications sometime. But most of the time, it's normally about 3 or 4, you know, because you're driving place to place. Now, the end of my 2 weeks, ain't nobody called me. And I'm getting kind of frustrated because this is a requirement. You got to find a job in 2 weeks. So the halfway house tell me, you know, they give out extensions. You got an extra week for you to be able to get a job. Okay. So now that I'm on this extension, I'm not trying to find some halfway decent job. I'm going to any job I can get. Fast food places, anywhere to get a job. So one day, I'm at the bus stop, and I notice it's a Taco Bell, and the Taco Bell say they have an open interview. So okay, let me go in here. I know I can get a job at Taco Bell. So I go in there, do the interview, and the lady tell me, she say, hey, looking at your application with your experience in cooking, I'm going to put you in for the management position. I say, look, lady, I've been looking for a job for over 2 weeks. Ain't not one person called me. I don't care if you hire me to sweep and clean the parking lot. Any job would do for me. So she said, okay, but I'm going to be calling you today. I leave. They call me a few hours later to come back for orientation. Well, you going to orientation, that means what? You got the job, right? Going there for orientation, talking to this woman again, same woman. And because I'm in the halfway house, one of the requirements of being in the halfway house is I got to tell them I'm in the halfway house. So as soon as I tell this woman I'm in the halfway house, her whole demeanor changed. Now, not only is not she put me in for the management position, hell, she can't hire me at all now. So I'm asking her, well, what's going on? What's the problem? She say, the problem is not you, but because we've hired so many people from the halfway house, and every single one of them we've had problems with. So we totally stopped hiring anybody that's in the halfway house. Blew me away. So, okay, now I'm out here and I'm dealing with all this. I'm on my extension. They telling me they can send me back to prison if I don't get a job. It's frustrating that nobody's hiring me. So, I finds out this fool I'm married to is going around telling people that I've been out of jail over 2 weeks and they ain't even found no job yet. But she not telling them the details. She putting the story out in a negative way, painting this picture of me as though I'm not out here every day looking for a job. And it ain't even just me telling her this what I'm doing. She giving me rides many days. I'm mad as hell. Because why in the hell was you stabbing me in the back? Telling people this. And then now, when they hear her story, so now they got something to say to other people. Now they going around saying, yeah, whole lot of these men too lazy to work. Don't make no sense. Sitting around here being lazy. Other people saying, men go to prison all them years and, they ain't doing nothing but laying around and playing sports and cards and dominoes. They don't know what it is to get a job. They want somebody to hand them something when they get out. Oh, man, they was talking